that so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming. At the rocket's red glow, the bombs bursting in air gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome. The national anthem tonight was sung by Laura Ellen Longworth, daughter of Kevin and Elizabeth Longworth. Laura will be studying electrical engineering at Michigan State University to pursue a career as an embedded systems engineer. Laura was active in Ski Club and Spanish Club. Next, I'd like to introduce Student Council President Lindsay Lee Bowe. Lindsay is the daughter of Glenn and Mary Bowe. Lindsay will attend Lee University in Tennessee to pursue a career in health and Spanish education. Lindsay has been active in starting children's Spanish club, tutoring, cross-country, track, church youth group, and instructional council. Lindsay Bowe.
Good evening. It is a pleasure that I welcome you here tonight to celebrate the graduation of the class of 2008. Thank you for attending our commencement ceremony. Before beginning our commencement ceremony, let's bow our heads and hearts together as we take a moment to thank God for all we have been given. Gentlemen, please remove your caps. Heavenly Father, we come before you tonight to thank you for the countless blessings you have bestowed upon us all. I thank you for bringing us together tonight to celebrate this milestone in our lives. Thank you first and foremost for the teachers, administrators, and counselors who have helped prepare us for this moment. Thank you for their ability to teach, for their wisdom, knowledge, patience, and love. Without them, we would not be here tonight. They have enabled us all to achieve greatness. Please send your blessings upon them and reward them for their hard work and dedication. I also thank you for our parents, grandparents, siblings, aunts, uncles, and other influential family members and friends who have positively impacted our lives and supported us throughout our journey. Their loving support and guidance has made our experience enjoyable, fulfilling, and rewarding. Bless these people who have so richly poured themselves into our lives. I want to thank you lastly, Father, for my classmates. Thank you for each and every one of the graduates of the class of 2008. You have given each student special talents, a unique personality, and matchless goals, hopes, and aspirations for the future. Please give us all strength and guidance for the coming days. May each student embrace the choices, possibilities, and adventures that will face them in their future. Help us to step out to meet the world with our minds prepared, our skills tuned, and assist us in setting our direction with a positive attitude and a strong spirit. May the aspirations of the class of 2008 be richly fulfilled. As we celebrate one more time, help us to understand that we are not complete with academic knowledge alone. We must each strive to fulfill what you require of all of us, to do justly, to love mercy, and to walk humbly. As we go our separate ways, enable us to all do this, and help us to encourage each other in the process. We give thanks to you, Lord, for keeping us alive, sustaining us, and allowing us to reach this special happy occasion. In Jesus' name I pray, amen.
Good evening, and welcome Board of Education, parents, guardians, grandparents, family, friends, faculty, alumni, and most importantly, graduates. It is an honor to welcome you here tonight to Fruitport High School's 2008 graduation ceremony. My name is Nicholas Sigleric, and I have the privilege of serving as Fruitport Community Schools Superintendent. Tonight is a time for celebration and recognition. We would like to begin by recognizing the distinguished guests on the platform. Sitting with our high school administration, we are fortunate tonight to have with us the entire Fruitport Board of Education. In addition to busy family lives, careers, the members of the Board of Education work countless hours reviewing policy, setting vision, attending meetings upon meetings for one purpose, and that's to serve the students of Fruitport. We are fortunate to have dedicated members of the board that have a combined service of 79 years to the students of Fruitport. To my immediate left, we have Trustee Mr. Ben Gillette, Trustee Mr. Bob German, Trustee Mr. Ted Tremelia, Secretary Ms. Pat Tressman, Treasurer Mr. Elroy Buckner, Vice President Mr. Dave Hazekamp, President Ms. Betty Kenny, and of course our high school administration, High School Principal Mr. Jeff Haas, and Assistant Principal Ms. Lauren Chesney. Without their hard work and dedication, we would not be here tonight, so please join me in recognizing them. Graduates, the ceremony tonight will have many symbols for us to remind of the journey that you have taken. One of the most powerful symbols is the symbol of our staff leading you into this arena and sitting behind you. You see, for 13 years, teachers, administrators, and support staff led you in the classroom, in the hallways, on the stage, in the field, and in the community. They helped you make good choices and good decisions. They have stood behind you and watched you excel, and have cheered loudly when you got an A, nailed a performance, or reached your goals. It's an honor to have them here tonight to see the culmination of your journey, and please join me in recognizing the faculty. Class of 2008, in preparing remarks tonight, I came across a story that I'd like to share with you tonight. I think it exemplifies what this class is all about. There was a man who had 4 sons. He wanted his sons to learn not to judge others. So he sent them on a quest, and in turn to go and look at a pear tree that was a great way in a distance. The first son went in the winter, the second in the spring, the third in the winter, in the summer, and the fourth in the fall. After they had all gone and returned, he called his sons together to discuss what they have seen.
The first son said the tree was ugly, twisted, and bent. The second son said no, it was covered with green buds and full of promise. The third son disagreed. He said that it was laden with blossoms, and it smelled so sweet and looked so beautiful. It was the most gracious thing he's ever seen. The last son disagreed with the other three, and he said it was ripe and dropping fruit, and full of life and fulfillment. The man explained to his sons that they were all right. They had each seen but only one season in the tree's life. He told them that you cannot judge a tree or a person by only one season, and the essence of who you are and the pleasure, joy, and love that comes from that life can only be measured at the end when all the seasons are up. If you give up at wintertime, you will miss the promise of spring, the beauty of summer, and the fulfillment of fall. Okay, why this story? And why this story for this class? Here's why. One could say that we are most proud of this class because of the students and the way they had performed and achieved more than any other. We could list a few of their many accomplishments. For example, over $1 million in scholarships awarded to this class. State and nationally ranked student writers and illustrators that perform literary magazine Escape. State and nationally recognized culinary arts students, second in the nation. State and nationally recognized singers, musicians, business professionals, marketing professionals, and athletes. While we beam with pride with all these accomplishments, in my mind, it does not define this class. What defines this class is found in that story of the four sons, and that is character. In the 4 years that we've seen these students grow at the high school, you have demonstrated that you do not judge. You've demonstrated maturity, character, and wisdom. You've demonstrated that you look at the beauty of people and not because of their differences or shortcomings. No act was ever more evident than the events of homecoming. It's because of that character that I will never forget this class and the impressions you made on the whole entire Fruitport community. So I thank you. It is now my pleasure to introduce the class president of 2008, Mr. Jacob Lee Boone. Jacob is the son of Patrick and Marcia Boone. Jacob will be attending Spring Arbor University to pursue a degree as a physician's assistant. Jake has been active in track, cross-country, student council, youth group, and National Honor Society. Please welcome Jacob.
Thank you, Mr. Sigleric. Well, I had this whole speech all prepared here, but I really want to speak from the heart. Just kidding. I got another right here. Remember in second grade when we would wait and wait for that recess bell so we could run outside just to be the first to slide down the new slide? Oh, wait, I wasn't at Fruitport in second grade. You guys were. But as I was saying, this past week has been a lot like second grade, except instead of a new slide, it's my future, a whole new playground. I've been waiting and waiting for that final bell, and it's almost here. But it's kind of a bittersweet. I'm gonna miss Fruitport High, and the games, dances, friendships, and especially Spirit Week. During the many times we celebrated Spirit Week, people have asked me, why do you have so much spirit? And I would simply reply, why wouldn't you? It's as simple as that. Fruitport has everything, whether it's the nurturing attitudes of the teachers that create a comfortable atmosphere, or your group of best friends that can always put a smile on your face. As I said earlier, I didn't go to Fruitport in elementary school. 2nd through 5th grade, I went to school in another district. And then, their loss was Fruitport's gain. In 5th grade, my mom told me that I would have to go to Fruitport in 6th grade. I ran outside and I cried on the front porch till I couldn't cry anymore. I was mad at my mom for the rest of that month. Well, really it was the rest of that day. But all I could think was, thanks, Ma. And all I can say is, thank you, Mom. This school has made me into who I am, and for that gift, Mom, I will always be grateful. I think that we, the class of 2008, now need to express the same gratitude to all of our parents and guardians for deciding that Fruitport was the community in which we were to be educated. In conclusion, Fruitport will always be a part of the class of 2008. And, like a good marriage, for better or for worse, the class of 2008 will always be a part of Fruitport High School. Thank you. Wait for massive applause. Oh, wait, I wasn't supposed to say that out loud. Thank you, just the same.
Good evening, graduates, families, friends, and staff. The Board of Education is so happy to be here with you tonight, honoring you, our graduates. Just to be able to look out and see all of you, so full of promise and potential, so eager to pick up your diplomas and celebrate your success. It brings out that special parent pride in all of us. When my children were very young, we always had music in the house. One of our favorite albums was called Free to Be You and Me, a collection of songs that related to life's lessons that I hope to instill in my children. Now, years later, there's a book by the same person called The Right Words at the Right Time. It has short chapters submitted by more than 100 well-known people who have looked back into their past in search of that time when words made all the difference. Each one wrote about a moment of awakening, a light bulb that revealed a truth that has stayed with them for a lifetime, or a challenge that moved them to action. Chris Rock's words came from his father. Paul McCartney's came in a dream. Steven Spielberg's from the tales of Davy Crockett. Billy Crystal and Walter Cronkite from discouraging words that goaded them on to achievement. And Muhammad Ali, as well as many others, remember the words of one of their teachers. Someday I hope you take the time to look back into your lives and remember someone that said those right words at the right time. But just in case tonight might be the right time, or tonight might be the right words, did we tell you you are in a great race of life? As with runners, you need to train with people who want to succeed. Add fuel by believing in yourselves, watch for speed bumps, conquer the uphill climbs, don't expect immediate results, and keep your eye on the finish line. Did we tell you there is magic in believing that you have the power within to be what you want to be, achieve what you want, and do what you want? Listen to your heart. Do what you really love to do. And if you don't know what that is yet, keep searching. Because if you find it, you'll bring that extra special something to your work. Did we tell you, forget your mirrors? Look less at yourself and more at others. Being of service to others is a gift you can give yourselves. If you want to feel good, then do good. It will enrich your life, and every one of you can make a difference. Did we tell you, remember with pride your years at Fruitport Community Schools? May the teachings of those you admire become a part of you. Did we tell you the things you'll value most in your lives are the things you have to fight for and work for and struggle for? Your life today is the result of your attitudes and choices in the past, but your life tomorrow will be the result of your attitudes and choices you make today. To add to that, I'd add a bit of wit and wisdom attributed to Mark Twain. Always work like you don't need the money. Always fall in love like you've never been hurt. Always dance like nobody's watching. And always, always live like it's heaven on earth. Class of 2008, the Board of Education congratulates you on your accomplishments and wishes you continued success. May God richly bless each and every one of you. Thank you.
It is my honor and privilege to introduce our senior speaker this evening. Paige Marie Davis is the daughter of Richard and Michelle Davis. Paige will attend Alma College to study communications and theater. Paige has been a member of First Priority, Upstagers, Imagery, National Honor Society. Paige was also part of Business Professionals of America, where she placed second in the nation in the interview skill area. Please welcome Paige Davis.
Hello all. Many seniors before us have given or experienced that one speech. You know it. Talks about dreams, accomplishments, it proclaims freedom, recalling events from the past. But does anyone tell us how we become successful citizens? Does anyone tell us what happens after all the graduation hype is through? Think about the future. After we walk past our educators and the members of the board and down those stairs, we're seen as adults. Wow. Sometimes we don't act like it, but all of us, whether we like it or not, are now being thrust into a new setting with new adventures and, yes, some new responsibilities. Over the years, I've had the privilege of having adults in my life that provide me with some well-said advice. I'd like to share that with you this evening. We are all unique. Just look at the tops of our hats. We approach life in many different directions, and we will continue to do that. We'll spread throughout the country, and some even the world, finding our fit and our purpose. We will become armed with individual views, experiences, and knowledge about the world in which we live. The largest part of our graduating class is that we are the largest graduating class in the United States. Class of 2008, you should be proud of yourselves. But with this gift in education and many experiences, we should give back to our community, country, and even our world. What's $1 million if you don't spend it? It's a pile of paper or some extra scraps of metal. As is our knowledge and insight if we don't share it. We are able-bodied and able-minded students that should delight in serving and giving back wholeheartedly without any hesitations. Some of you tonight are my fellow choir members, and you're familiar with my cultivated list of encouraging words. Tonight, my friends, I would love to share another encouraging word with you. It's located in Mark 12, 41 through 44. Jesus sat down opposite the place where the offerings were being put and watched the crowd putting their money into the temple treasury. Many rich people threw in large amounts, but a poor widow came and put in 2 very small copper coins, worth only a fraction of a penny. Calling his disciples to him, Jesus said, "I tell you the truth, this poor widow has put more into the treasury than all others. They all gave out of their wealth, but she, out of her poverty, put in everything, all that she had to live on." Anyone who comes across this passage can draw out some personal meaning from it. And for me, it stresses the importance of not of how much you give, or if anyone's watching, but your motives behind your service. Another thing I've learned through experiences is the value of hard work. Never settle for anything. Demand more from yourself and encourage others to do the same. Take initiative and seize opportunities, or take advantage of the opportunities that are given to you. Be leaders. Being a leader is not getting up and speaking or delegating tasks. Being a leader means living by example. Stay faithful to your word and to your true person as well. Surprisingly enough, being a leader is not looking out for number one, but encouraging others in success and appreciating them as human beings. We, as the class of 2008, can be leaders. We can be leaders at home, at college, in the grocery line, or even the leader of the world. The tools and resources are there for us to use. Don't be afraid to make mistakes. Take risks, because those are the moments and experiences that shape us and help us to become who we are. Most importantly, value your relationships with your families. They may not be biological. They may be a group of friends or even a neighbor lady who offers you to have warm cookies in a game of cards. But whoever it is, that you would know that however far you go or however old you get, and yes, however many mistakes you may make, there is always someone rooting for you. And there is always a safe place in the midst of struggle and hardship, because there's no place like home. Thank you.
I would like to welcome the Board of Education, the administration, faculty, family members, and friends to the commencement exercises for the Fruitport High School class of 2008. Graduates, what comes to mind when you think about tonight? Your high school commencement. Most people consider it to be the culmination or the end of your required education. It is the ceremony that completes or finalizes your K-12 experience. Webster defines commencement as the beginning, the start, or the time something is supposed to begin. Commencement originated in medieval Europe as the initiation ceremony for new university teachers. Commencement was the introduction to their career. It was the start of something significant. It was the beginning of something. Orrin Hatch, the United States Senator from Utah, once said, "There is a good reason they call these ceremonies commencement exercises, because it's not the end, it's the beginning." The future is bright, and you are ready to embrace independence, freedom, and the opportunity to do life on your own terms. No longer will you have to listen to your parents, your teachers, coaches, or Mr. Young, Mrs. Chesney, or myself dictate your direction. However, as you prepare to continue your education, serve our country in the armed services, or enter the workforce, you may have some anxious moments. Whenever you start something new, fear and doubt usually accompany anticipation and excitement. Tonight is no exception. When you began your education 13 years ago, I am sure you thought it was pretty cool to be entering the world of your sibling, a cousin, or a friend. It was a life that involved bringing snacks to school, going on field trips, having recess, enjoying class parties. Maybe you were excited about participating in the annual Halloween parade, or catching a ride on the Yellow Submarine. However, for the very first time, you were going to be by yourself, away from your parents, and trying to make new friends. You are growing and changing. Your graduation from elementary school signaled your entrance to the middle school years. You had the opportunity to take elective classes, participate in school plays, learn how to play an instrument, or join an athletic team. As Beach, Shetler, and Edgewood merged into one school, you were placed into teams. You had to switch classes, learn your way around a larger building, get to know several different teachers, and there were lots of kids you didn't know. It wasn't always easy and comfortable. It was also an awkward age and provided some of your most favorable pictures that I'm sure you'll have hanging at your open houses in the near future. However, by the time you reach 8th grade, you were on the top of your game, and you had it all figured out. It was comfortable, but you knew that better things laid ahead as high school appeared on the horizon. As an incoming freshman, finding your locker or remembering your combination may have caused some stress. Maybe you found yourself sitting in the wrong class, or worse yet, you took a senior seat in the square. You had many more options for classes and student organizations. There were athletics, school plays, and of course dances. And the reality of being able to drive was no longer a distant dream. High school was a great time of change, and it was exciting, although it was not without moments of fear and anxiety. There have been many beginnings and endings throughout the course of your education thus far. Today, you stand on the brink of another such transition, arguably one of the most important that you'll ever face. As you leave here tonight, you begin your journey as an adult. You have arrived at the culmination of your K-12 education and the commencement or the beginning of your future. Today is a day to celebrate your accomplishments and begin the pursuit of your goals and dreams. Look around at your friends and family who came here tonight to support you. See the teachers, coaches, counselors, and school staff who have been with you on the journey over the last 13 years. Remain in touch with these friends and come back to share your successes with the teachers and coaches who have made a difference in your life. Ask your parents for advice when you're unsure of what step to take next. Above all else, go confidently knowing that you possess the ability and the skills necessary to enter the unfamiliar yet exciting next chapter in your life. T.S. Eliot once said, "What we call the beginning is often the end, and to make an end is to make a beginning. The end is where we start from." Congratulations on your outstanding achievement and job well done for the class of 2008.
Will the candidates for graduation for the class of 2008 please stand? Mr. Haas, have the candidates which stand before us tonight successfully fulfilled the requirements of the board-adopted curriculum and have the approval of the faculty to be presented to receive high school diplomas? Exercising the authority of the Board of Trustees of Fruitport Community Schools, legally vested by the state of Michigan and acting on behalf of the faculty, I now confer upon you who have fulfilled the requirements your high school diploma with all the rights, privileges appertaining hereunto. You may move your tassels from right to left in recognition and congratulations. Please help me welcome Danielle Brink, Student Council President, to the stage. Danielle Brink. Danielle is the daughter of Dan and Debbie Brink. Danielle will be attending St. Mary's College of Notre Dame. She will be pursuing her degree in veterinarian medicine. Danielle has served as Student Council President, President of Youth Council Advisory for Muskegon County, a conflict manager. She's also been active in National Honor Society, Spanish Club, softball, track, and Danielle has been a part of our volleyball and basketball team her entire high school career. Danielle.
You guys can take a seat probably, if you want. Okay. So, we finally made it. Some days it seemed like this day would never come, but it has. And now that it has, it seems like it went by so fast. Through elementary school, middle school, and high school, we have all made memories with each other that will never be forgotten. From field trips to field days, and camps and boyfriends and girlfriends, the memories we have made with our friends, families, teachers, and staff will stay with us forever. It is quite unbelievable that we have been through 13 years of schooling. We have all made new friends and lost old ones. We have made self-discoveries and discovered things about people around us. We have all been affected by the Fruitport Community Schools staff, our families, and our friends who have held our hands along the way. I personally would have never made it without the help, guidance, and friendship that Miss Chesney and my family gave to me throughout my schooling. All of the staff and all of our different family members have affected each of us students in a profound way. There is no way we could possibly show our gratitude to all of you. So, on behalf of all of us in the 2008 class, I say thank you to all of you for providing us with a hopeful future. But it is now time for all of you to let go and for us to begin our own lives. We all must choose which path we take from here. You must now learn what the right decision for you is. It is time we make our own future. King Whitney Jr. said, "Change has a considerable psychological impact on the human mind. To the fearful, it is threatening, because it means that things may get worse. To the hopeful, it is encouraging, because things may get better. To the confident, it is inspiring, because the challenge exists to make things better. We all must be hopeful and confident. We have the power to become whomever we want to be. Any of us could become a doctor, a teacher, a mechanic, a farmer, a model, a professional athlete, anything. We now have everything at the tip of our fingers. It's up to us what we do with the knowledge we have been given. Aim for success, not perfection. Never give up your right to be wrong, because then you'll lose the ability to learn new things and move forward with your life. A quote by David M. Burns. We all know there will be rocks along our paths, but always believe you have the strength to get up and keep going. You may lose your way, but your family and friends will always be there to redirect you. In the 3rd grade, the students who had Mr. Grossenbacher as a teacher at Shetler Elementary School were given a little blue card and a saying called Mr. G's Creed. Anyone who knows it, please say it with me. Today is the first day of the rest of my life. How I treat today determines how tomorrow treats me. I will show respect for everyone and everything. Excuses satisfy only those who make them. Success is never ending. Failure is never final. Make your problems stepping stones instead of stumbling blocks. School spirit, dig it, I believe in me. Bad things happen when good people remain silent. If you keep doing what you're doing, you'll keep getting what you've got. Trust is a must, or a team is a bust. I am creating a new world because I can be anything I decide to be. Every morning, it is so important to wake with this attitude because you can never relive that day. Make the most of every chance you are given, and if you are never given a chance, you must make one for yourself. All you have to lose in life is time, so every second should be held precious. Euripides said, "The wisest men follow their own direction." There is no doubt that we all have a new slate before us, and the question now is, what picture will you paint for your life? Congratulations, class of 2008. It is now time for us to act as one class, one last time. At this time, we will make the Fruitport High School Circle of Friends. This circle is never ending, like the relationships we have formed with each other. Go ahead, make a circle. celebration of all of our many accomplishments. 1, 2, 3.
So